actually we've now got a team that I don't think many predicted. Now, I know the Guild fans are saying, how dare you? How dare you not predict our boys? But I think most people said, well, G2, they looked good. They went to Berlin. They surprised a little, and then they fell. We have Liquid, who made it there. Pretty reasonable assumption. Hypox, though, your thoughts now with Guild joining us in the final, maybe instead of a team that some people were expecting?
I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, it's no secret I've probably been one of the biggest Guild critics over the year, second only to Mitchman, but I have to wait and see. I mean, there's a lot of questions to ask, but actually, look at a very, very fast hit here in the pistol round, straight onto C site already. soulcas going to lose out to Draken, and actually, straight away, look at that, 3 kills in quick succession already. They have full side control. Only Scream and Nivera left to try and recover this now. Yeah, it's a little out there. Nivera and Scream, the brother buff, of course, we have heard it said, and there's only so many times I can keep repeating that, but let's see what they can do with this. The HP is low on bonkar, Sayf, you're seeing down to what, 50 or so, so it could happen, but they're not being given much. No one over-peaking from Guild, and rightly so. Scream, first step towards it, leans out, does get contact on both sides, and they both succeed. Hold on, 8 HP, there it is, Scream. He's found another. Draken, where are you? You need to find this one. He's doing the ring a rosy. Scream now trying to play the time. He has to close the gap. He has to find Draken, and he's just playing the time so well. Draken off to a good start here, and as our Guild with the first round on the board. Yeah, and actually a very convincing push through Garage there. I mean, a big talking point yesterday was Liquid kind of, I guess, alluding to the fact they might want to start that series very quickly versus G2 and kind of set the precedent, set the tone for it. And this right here is a perfect example on the flip side of that, with Guild just coming out very explosively towards C. And I mean, seemingly in the early round there, Liquid almost had no response. It was everything in Guild's favor. Well, let's kind of talk through the win conditions a little bit here. I know the desk has gone through it a fair amount, but let's kind of hit that up for those who just tune in when you see the game on the screen. Like, I'm one of you two, don't worry. Now, again, when we look at this, for the likes of Guild, again, they are the underdogs. This is the best map for it, but the pace, again, is so quick. I want to come to you with that question eventually, but for now, it is this piece towards A. It should be swept through. There are a couple of sheriffs, so maybe if things aren't all together, it could be picked apart, but for now, it all looks quite good. Draken looking a little different these days, but that'll be fixed up, I'm sure. They're CS players, or at least they were at one point. It's fine, just rope them all in together. But it's gone exactly as required. They have the side control now, spikes going down, not a single player lost. I think here, obviously, the big objective to keep 5 alive or keep as many as possible. Leo will find Scream.
1 enemy remaining.
Just 2 left to deal with, soulcas and Link. He will find the wall bang onto Link as well. So just soulcas and a Sheriff to do what damage he can. No real squishy targets to find on the other side of things. I don't expect Guild to go hunting here, not really necessary for them to find. The soulcas will just most likely look for an exit, potentially just fall to the spike itself. Yeah, Guild now going to look to peel away from sight. Again, they don't want to entertain this. Good read here, and again, like I said, everybody's going to stay alive. They're going to carry across 5 Spectres actually into the next round, and the first 2 rounds are any indication to go by. I think might continue with this pace a little bit to make use of these in round 3. Now, let me get that question from you. Give me some win conditions for Guild here, because we looked at the map pool. Let's start with the map pool then. The map pool is interesting. I think we need to see a convincing victory here from Guild on Haven. And again, I don't think that's going to rattle Liquid. I purely think that the further this goes on, yep, I think the lower the chances get that Guild are going to close out the series. Okay. I'm leaning towards Ascent more so, but again, we've seen 2 performances from Liquid now where they've really, really stepped up, and 2 very, very convincing performances from them. And that's to say, actually, previously, I mean, prior to that, there was a couple of very weak performances. Think back to that Phoenix composition they were running, but yeah, I'm looking for Haven to get off to a good start. Ascent, I'm giving Liquid's way, but Split will be interesting. That's the one where we've seen Guild upset before. Yes, it can kind of create that space for it. Now, I think you can't avoid the elephant in the room, which is bonkar's performance. But again, alongside that, I'd like to see him do well. Obviously, he serves a different role than the others. He is that kind of in-game leader. He does still fulfill that. But I'm also then looking beyond that at Yacine. I want him to have a big performance. Leo, they're the key swing factors. But we are seeing this round now getting started. And the buy actually not going so well for Liquid. Link being found pretty quickly as he pushed down, and Draken just slicing through middle, up through Garage, and it's looking gorgeous for Guild. There's now Scream, soulcas, and Nivera being put under the gun. And yeah, finding the Scream falling, the site's theirs. It's under wraps, and bonkar with a critical frag actually. Finding Scream now secures that spike plant, and you're down to just Nivera. Look at the upgrade actually on Leo, and potentially if they do want to force the issue, Nivera actually backing away with 55 HP. I think resorting to holding on to this Phantom. Guild, again, like I said, they had a great opportunity here in round 3 with everybody surviving. It looks like they're actually going to be able to upgrade a couple of these weapons, whether or not they're cautious enough not to push into spawn. See where these death markers are on the minimap. I think Link actually on long in Cubby only had a Spectre, so not necessarily an upgrade there. But again, another convincing push through. It's kind of cut and dry, to be honest with you. Liquid, at least in the early round, are not set up to deal with a fast push. I think initially you'd see soulcas coming across onto elbow there, just coming out of spawn to throw a flash through, but Link isolated very, very quickly. Scream's then called upon to either bail on site, play for the retake, or challenge.
Now, when we talk about, and I think most of their fans will agree as well, it's like, what guild do we have today? Do we have the potential of the 3 players that I'd say Yacine, Leo are the 2 for me that I look at like, okay, if they pop off, you've got trouble. Throw in a Draken, you've got a team that can now push top 3, not just top 5, top 10. That's where I think the games can kind of go askew. And for now, they've got off to the perfect start, right? They've got the pistol, they've got the bonus conversion, which is incredible for them. That's something you're going to be taking to the grave with you. So, for now, good work.
I was going to say, I think we might see another pacey hit here, considering actually Yacine did swap out the last second. I did see him with a judge, and I thought it was going to be a double satchel somewhere to close the distance. But looks like there's Jamppi. Actually got a shorty. Post up on the outside, bonkar. Will be posted to the other side of double doors, and actually the slowest approach we've seen here. So Guild definitely reading into this purchase here. Jamppi actually gets a little antsy. Sayf will shut that down. Actually, soulcas will spot Leo as well, but a couple of other players close by. You've seen looking to fill this gap very quickly. And Scream actually got the blade storm. I didn't even hear that get popped in the background, but look for him to potentially do some damage here. But again, the first indicator here of Guild kind of trying to pump the brakes a little bit. On the other side of things, actually Draken, look at where he's managed to thread his way through to.
I like that. And again, he can sit in hell. They're going to re-explore. He can hear these steps. You can see him kind of communicating to the rest of there's someone around, but Nivera outdoes him. Now they found the rifle, and I don't know if they know that Scream's over here, but he definitely would be able to tell that someone's in heaven. So Guild should be on red alert that there are a couple of dangers around this, and they're the 2 main factors, Scream and Nivera, just because of the weaponry they bring into this. But post-plant's looking okay. Bonkar towards hell, 1 towards graffiti, 2 on towards sight.
He's posted with a paranoia, actually. It makes me think they might even get a little aggressive on a sound cue or something.
Yeah. We'll see if anyone swings off. Oh, he's actually... Let's see if he does this. What is going to be the go signal on this? Who's the one to play? First flash comes in. That's going to connect, and here we go. The turning kick comes back around. Scream's been found. Sayf does well. Nivera does still have that rifle, but he's not found much room for it. They've still got that double stack towards hell, so I think the options have looked pretty limited at this point. Link not finding the one he wanted. Nivera's doing great damage, but I don't think it's going to change the round outcome. Bonkar, if he can play safe with this, that's all you've got to ask for, and it is great damage. None of the weapons are recoverable, and again, Nivera just has to back away from this. So again, as much as we do talk about the economic damage in this, which we can lean towards, Guild get another on the board.
I think we're around past that as well. Even here, where you've had the upgrades, this essentially was riding on the back of Nivera's rifle and Scream's blade storm ultimately. So yeah, fantastic, but damage already done at least in the early rounds of this half in terms of converting that bonus previously. I mean, you can see the stack behind this purchase anyway. It's very healthy still. You see now onto the showstopper, getting a little closer to maybe that first full cycle of ultimates. And Sayf lagging behind just a little bit. Also Liquid, actually, other than the blade storm, which is now used up, nothing available for them. First operator purchase, actually, and again, that was a big talking point, this double operator setup we've seen, but Jamppi, the first, actually, Yacine gonna post it. We'll find soulcas.
And hey, if this is a Yacine on day, we're in for a treat. And look at it, finding Link on the follow-up. You couldn't ask for a better beginning. And yeah, they may have that up out and play, but Jamppi, the gap's gonna be closed so quickly by Guild that he's gonna be under pressure. Quick flash, he's blind. Spike now going in, but already they're in a bit of a decent hold for this. Yeah, too many angles and a wide bit of a jump on that, trying to get the better, but Yacine denies. As Scream and Nivera, once again, the last 2 standing. Yeah, they've got to step towards the side. It's Scream, and now that's going to force him out of position. Scream now can work forward. Where's the next piece of the protocol? There it is. Lovely work between the 2 of them. Trying to unveil what remains. Nivera just red draken like a book. And now Leo and Sayf in the deep post plants, trying to play for this spike, gonna try and get it to halfway. Nivera's got that done. He's not moving. He's not stopping. You gotta try and fight it, and they don't. Nivera takes it away under their nose. They had no idea on that one. Both of them sitting so deep after what was a perfect retake between the brothers there. I loved that work.
Fantastic to see. Again, I got to criticize Guild there. They seemingly had enough site control to plant and reset to long and make sure that it's a plant that's safe for long. I'm not sure exactly who it was that planted, but the key thing that you identified here, Draken, Liquid read that perfectly. He wasn't noted to that point. He's found a couple of kills previously. Jamppi pinching through the back of Garage, but they shut that down. That's the threat. Ultimately here, Leo and Sayf don't really have a great opportunity to just, you know, charge it back down long towards site. So again, well played by Nivera to just stick that, but that's how Liquid get on the board. I don't expect Guild to continue making these
up the game early on. And look, there's two sides to the coin for emotional players. You do well early on, you start feeling the game, you got that hot hand, everything feels right to you. It goes badly, you get a little sheepish, you get a little quiet, hard to work, but this is a good start for him.
Indeed, Nivera actually gonna pop the Hunter's Fury off the rip. We'll find the initial tag and the follow-up onto bonkar and Spike. We drop, but seemingly unnoted, at least on the side of Liquid. 3 players will remain on that site for the time being. We'll try and regroup behind this as the Owl drone will clear through. No follow-up on either side, though. Here, Draken is the one I look towards here, because expect Guild to just hold on to sewers for the time being, see if Draken can find some space. A little wary towards the entrance of B, but Liquid now with a man advantage, I think definitely want to slow this round down, and you can see Guild as well just anticipating this response or the pushback through.
Well, look at the pace change for the first couple of rounds. Guild were flying in. They've had to now, you know, tame the pace a bit. They're trying to feel out if there's a stack. Again, the money was in a weird enough spot that you want to try and make sure you're not walking into a judge in a corner, which actually, funny enough, soulcas isn't quite in a corner. He's at the door, so close enough too. So maybe just feeling things out, taking the time, running that utility down, but it is down to the 30-second mark. Now Jamppi's just been swept through. Yacine is on today, ladies and gents, and Scream gets outdone. Wow. This is a rarity. Again, making someone like Nivera, Scream, Jamppi look easy to get picked on the site like that? Okay, Guild, fair enough. We've got a game on our hands.
Look at the weapons on the retake, though, Laura. It's a Judge and Spectre.
There's nothing they can do with it with the C players. Well, tell a lie. soulcas was towards Garage, and then obviously Link was sitting on towards that C-long push. I guess soulcas at least gets the rifle to walk away with, but they're locked out. And look, we're getting it. We are absolutely getting what we asked for. Yacine, on. We've got Draken, on. These are the win conditions you don't always see. They are more often missing than they're there, and especially against big teams. Look, everyone who's wanted to see Guild has known the effect of whenever I want them to win, they don't. When I don't expect it, they do. It happens, and we're all a little taken aback here, because if it's finally coming together, if all that potential finally comes through, we're in for a treat. However, Link does get caught off, and soulcas will probably be able to keep that rifle. No one's in a position to be able to take that away. Guild 4 alive, spike plant, and a late site hit that looked decent for them.
And this is key now, is whether or not, that round in particular, Guild were anticipating Liquid trying to make a response to what they were doing in the early round, right? They find the first blood on the back of the Hunter's Fury, no less, but there's no follow-up, there's no push through. So now, Liquid are maybe asking the questions, okay, do we sit deep? Do we make a little set piece, take a little control in the early round? Because seemingly Guild are just trying to death ball. It's Draken kind of left out towards mid, outside double doors. You can see every single time he's trying to set that cam outside. And actually, there's the first round had not been it, but looking like it might be an all-in-piece towards A, and Draken just left outside lobby. And this time it's only Nivera here. Sheriff in hand. Scream just about coming across to give him some backup, but they will give it up. As if they want to opt towards a retake. No way back in.
Nope. Scream's been punished. It does seem as though there's a little bit of a delay on the audio from us, so hopefully that gets fixed up. Apologies for that. We'll take a second to get that sorted for you. And as for now, Guild running through the motions here. Even the ults coming through. Sayf's now got his bonkers in a good spot for it. Leo ain't far off either. I mean, it's all looking pretty gravy, right? And what do Liquid do with this now? Well, what are your options? Right, well, I've only got a classic, so I might as well try something. But outside of that, this is great work from Guild. And again, I can't find fault in it. Everything they're doing is absolutely to a T. And Liquid don't seem to have an answer yet. And normally they come up with answers quite quickly. There's a timeout, Sliggy comes in with something, you know, theory craft line together. This ain't happening yet.
Yeah, the interesting thing again, it's on both sides of the map, right? It's that push and pull. Now, will the Liquid send an extra body, I guess, in the early round to try and contest this A pressure? Well, again, are we going to see any form of, you know, adaptation here? Potentially soulcas, the one to look towards in terms of dictating that. But effectively, right now, Jamppi's completely crushed out of this one. soulcas as well, yet to find his first. And again, I was just about to mention it. Other than that one Jamppi purchase of the operator, I mean, this is the best way to counter where Liquid looked strongest the other day, is make sure they haven't got money. Make sure they haven't got the opportunity to even run this double-up setup. Scream. Actually received one from Link here. Let's see if he can make use of it. Posted up on plat right now. He's in on the X-ray. Facing towards connector. Actually, 3 members of Liquid now on completely outside the map. The Scream does find bonkar. Spike will be noted. Actually, Sayf a little bit further behind that contact than maybe you'd like to see, but again, if anything, lucky for Guild, because this time Liquid have rotated an extra body this direction. Yeah, how did Guild respond to this? Spike making its way slowly up mid towards draken. A little bit split actually here, so draken will deal with the turret. No response just yet, but Yacine in position to pinch anybody potentially coming back to try and stop this plant going down on B site. But they will drift away once again.
I've got your trail.
Guild almost sending out a couple of bait pieces of information, and the Seekers will be invested towards C site, so almost seemingly trying to draw this rotation out.
30 seconds left.
Jamppi, he's been struggling to deal with these hits coming through, and it's Link this time to face the music. As Jamppi now just trying to watch that cross, and Sayf might find this timing. They were watching for it. Nivera double checks. Catches Sayf trying to get on the flank, and now draken actually in a really good spot to punish this. That's good work towards Jamppi. Would he expect Nivera? Yes, of course he would, because Nivera was the one who just got the frags, so now they know there's more coming through this way. soulcas on the pinch, but Yacine on the flank, the double flank on this one. Look at what's going on, and Scream, hey, we're new to this op work from him. Depending on the blades now, probably the right thing to be doing. Looking around, checks the site, no one on it, and look at these deep post plants. He ain't giving much up here. He's going to have to go hunting if he wants it. Spike plant not particularly for it, but as you can see, this is why. As the ult. And that's about all she wrote. Scream's going to be caught even, excuse me, bad English.
You really catched him.
Yeah, really
I mean,
did.
the other thing to look at there, yeah, they got the Hunter's Fury, but the nade was also available for Yacine, so opportunity there, 2 opportunities, I should say, to prevent that defusal coming few.
Placing sentry.
Now, actually, Liquid right back down onto Sheriffs and nothing else ultimate-wise with the Blade Storm being invested. Again, I can understand it, but with that round 1v2, operator in hand, almost expect Scream to hold on to the ult, knowing full well that if they lose this, you'll be back down on this sort of purchase. But we'll see if they can get anything done. It was round 9, and it's 7-1, Lauren. This is I mean, I hate to say it, but this is exactly what we wanted to see. And if anything with Guild, you look for them to overperform on attack, make it as easy as possible for them on the defensive half. So
They've done it. Hey,
we're halfway there.
We're
Living on a prayer.
Truly. I'm a little stunned at how strong Guild have come out here. And it has been that waiting game.
I'm more stunned at actually not seeing some kind of coordinated response by Liquid. They're the ones that usually you will see that visible adjustment made, especially when they start falling behind like this, and we just haven't seen it.
Now, and again, just for the Liquid fans, I'll give you some hopium. It is a best of 5. This isn't just, you know, your usual best of 3. This isn't like, well, they're basically there. No.
We got there already on map 1.
We're
on the hope. Yeah.
We're already there. I've been on the copium for years, mate. Here we go. Leo, lovely work. Again, they are just on Sheriffs. Even with the light armor and what have you, they're in no position to utilize it. They're in no position to make the most of it as Link now a mile away. And just have to watch as all his teammates got culled. And things have to feel phenomenal for Guild, right? This has to be I don't want to say a sigh of relief, but I mean, man, have you sat there and had to watch Guild and you think, oh, maybe it's this time. Finally having a good performance from Yacine, this is the one. And then no one else quite joins him. This is a collective effort from Guild. This is the Guild we want to see, but this is also what we said to have a competitive game. This isn't just going to be a blowout. The rest of the map pool, I would say after this map, does favor Liquid a little bit in this. And then, I mean, it's hard to look at the map pool
but this is,
and take it away.
This is where that discussion changes, though, because if we come out and we see kind of a middling Guild on map 1, then you think, actually, yeah, it's pretty black and white for the rest of the map, Vito. Actually, with this sort of performance, and I know yesterday there were certain discussions made, and I know my best friend Tom Biz was touching on this yesterday, but
Tommy,
in terms of form and in terms of what we look towards for Guild, already here we're seeing the positives. And that's key. It's bonkar for me is a different talking point altogether. But there's times when Guild just look very disjointed. That's not the case here on Haven at all.
Not at all. I mean, it's the polar opposite. They look so well oiled. The timings look great. The spacing looks great. The sight hits are well considered. I think you saw Liquid kind of identify there was a little bit of a gap towards Garage that someone like Draken had been exploring. Sayf got a little bit of, trying to find the timing through that. But Guild, that was, they've got plenty of other looks, it seems. Now, again, going to have to clear close. It'll be Jamppi. Going to fade away from that. Doesn't want to give away what he's got. He gets to reposition. Looks like maybe Sewer here.
I think maybe actually just with the leap there, he might have even been noted on that Trailblazer.
But they don't expect to readjust. Puts himself in towards Sewer and is actually back in time to not get the pressure from Long as well. He's still able to sit safe on this. This is quite impressive from him. But now the vision's being limited and it's going to be the swing from Leo. No one watching the push-up from Long. No ability to. The utility was great from Guild to get the spike down again.
The thing is there, Jamppi challenges. There's nothing to bail him out. And I mean, look at it. He's got his lockdown as well. Again, you could question why he's so deep there. Liquid once again will find themselves trying to retake a site. Another post plant here. Yacine actually with the showstopper. He's playing hell. Again, he's ready to pop this as soon as contact comes through. And there it is.
Yeah, see what he can get. Just buying time, look at it. Clock just being ripped away from Liquid. And yeah, they can put him in the corner, but how much more can they do? Nivera doing everything he can.
Bonkar!
It's bonkar on the back lines. Secures it again, and Guild keep moving forward. Look at this scoreline. Look at it, 9-1.
That was beautiful. Again, like I said, the showstopper, even just on the back of the Cosmic Divide being thrown up, Yacine pops it. They have to respect it initially. It actually comes through. Link finds that kill. And somehow Bonkar's the ace up the sleeve here for Guild. Finding those last 2 kills when it matters the most. I'm blown away so far. This is really, really impressive from Guild. And even yesterday when I was watching the games, I still had questions whether or not they could repeat the same thing today versus Liquid, because G2 played very reckless yesterday.
They did.
And that's uncharacteristic of Liquid.
And bonkar beating Scream on like a peak like that is pretty uncharacteristic.
What world are we in?
I don't know. I don't know. I went to bed like normal last night and I've woken up and everything's a bit weird. Nivera's trying the best he can, but he's about to be swarmed. Look at the timing on this. He's not actually as blind as I'm sure they'd like, but for now, they start their aggress, and Draken's been really solid on that. The amount of times they're succeeding on just pound for pound winning these fights. I am amazed at this. Draken on that swing towards sight. He's been winning in this more often than not. And then you've had these opening picks. I don't know what's happening. Now keep in mind, right, when we talk about Liquid, this is still a new roster. They've had changes, they've come back in, but they've had time in the lab, right? Where's the rest of it now?
But we started having this conversation the other day about being tested and coming through and having this roster change. And I don't want to say having the benefit of playing, necessarily weaker opponents, maybe out of form, maybe, teams that weren't prepared to counter whatever Liquid bring to the table. Now, actually, Guild of all people are the ones to step up and really, really push this. Like I said, just coming back to that talking point, the double up, we haven't seen it.
Nope.
The economy has just not been there for Liquid.
Because every round, Guild had like 4 alive. They've given like no quarter. And you're seeing again once on in. This time Scream finds him, says, no more. But Leo's right there on the trade out. Bonkar finds Jamppi. This is huge work from Guild, and the purchase was already weak from Liquid. So even now what remains is lacking. Scream, the only one really with the rifle locked in. Nivera trying to do what he can with the Guardian, but it ain't pretty. And Guild, again, they haven't fully committed to the site just yet, but look at this rotation coming out from the spike. Keep your eyes on Bonkar here. Where is he off to?
See, actually Scream considering the possibility, but soulcas actually pushed down mid. Yeah. Bonkar got to be careful here because...
Oh, he's in danger.
Yeah, he's out on an island right now. One smoke comes back up, so another 30 seconds for the next. Actually, Screen just spotted a pixel out of place. But again, expect them to hit in the last 20 seconds. Again, the biggest criticism of Omen, you have to wait for this utility recycle for it to come back down and available. But Scream's read this perfectly. You didn't see the cross back, so they know they can commit.
This is, ooh, the timing for Nivera. He's going to be fully blind, and actually Screen gets up. Look at this synergy. Look at it. Read it and weep, Liquid. This is baffling. As soulcas, and again, retaking with a judge, you'd be lucky to get this one. Draken can just kind of jiggle peek it if he wants to. soulcas will somewhat slip the net, but again, he may still get one, but none of these guns are going to be used, and yeah, Draken can sit and play catch. Guild have just blown Liquid out of the water here in the grand finals, and I am absolutely enamored by what we're seeing.
I mean, a 12-0 start versus Footballists and an 11-1 start versus Liquid. I mean, this is completely unprecedented. See now, again...
I want to see that scoreboard again. Like,
we don't even talk about it until we get the pistol and the round 2 gone. Because as far as I'm concerned, the way Liquid have handled this first half, I'm not sure if they've been forced back in their shell, whether or not we're going to see an explosive start here. Looks like they're going to spread out initially. Still 10 seconds till the barrier will drop, but... And Guild are going to be proactive. Of course they are.
Why not? You're 11-1 up.
Yeah.
Make it hurt.
Make it weird.
Yeah.
Make it hard for Liquid to read.
You may as well, because you have so many rounds to play with. Yeah, the gap can always be closed. We know that old story. But again, you have so much more room. And look at this. Yacine can just tuck himself under window. Even push it if he fancies. And he really feels it out. And he's going to find soulcas for somewhat free. Can't back away, but he's got bodies at top mid. It's not like Jamppi can trade it.
Going to try and counter this. You can see actually... Link will find 2 in mid. Sayf and Yacine will fall, and the Owl Drone will force through onto C. Screen following through. It'll be bonkar called upon. Actually gets the damage right onto Screen there ahead of that, but Draken will receive a headshot. Leo and bonkar now in a 2v4 as the spike goes down on C.
Spike planted.
A bit of a reveal here. Not pretty enough as Nivera going to keep that aim clean, and Leo now one alive in a 1v4. And look, I've given Leo as many credits as I can. I think this guy is incredible. But this, little tricky, little tough. But again, Guild have rounds to play with. Throw something at it, see if it works. Gets first contact, and now they all line up. They put Leo down. Liquid get their second. And I can't believe I'm saying that sentence. Liquid get their second. What timeline is this? And frag-wise, soulcas. Quiet, Jamppi, quiet. Yeah, Scream and Nivera, sure. But it's not equated to round wins, really. Apart from that one retake, that was one of the rounds that they pulled off. That's been about it.
I think I talked about round 6. Jamppi and soulcas effectively being removed from this game altogether. Yep. And soulcas yet to get on the board, Jamppi with 1 kill. And again, you think back to the previous performances, Jamppi and Scream were basically the cornerstone of Liquid's success, right?
Absolutely.
With that double operator setup. And we already talked about why that wasn't a possibility again. Guild,
weird.
Look at it. I love it.
May as well. Get themselves a little...
I mean, you come back to that. What's always the talk point with Guild? It's like, yeah, when they play with confidence, when they play with heart, and all these other...
Hard to quantify.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's things like this. It's like, yeah, great, cool. You're this far up. So be it. Carry on.
And look, it's an old narrative. I don't think soulcas is... you know, a player to even look at who, you know, may have a tough performance. You know, the guy is actually one of the best guys that we saw for a while, even, you know, be it buffed or not, the guy's absolutely incredible. Oh, yeah. You know, it's a tired narrative before, but it's brutal to see him having a rough game in this, and they just haven't been given a chance in hell. Draken, what are you up to here, bud? There we go, found by soulcas, and it'll be okay. 3 now for Liquid. This is a long road back, though, Hypoc, and it's going to be a long series, so just strap yourself in.
Of course it is. Would never any other way.
I mean, they got to wake up, right? It honestly looks like Liquid just not in the server at the start. I don't know what to say. I've never seen them look like this. And I don't want to discredit Guild's achievements because they were playing great. They turned up and meant business.
And that's the important thing. It's the only reason I come back to what we discussed the other day. Actually, after soulcas's interview, we were saying, yeah, we're going to come out. We're going to start strong. We're going to start explosive. We're going to set the tone.
Yep.
And right here, it's almost like, okay, well,
we'll see.
That's cute. You want to see us try it?
Oh, Yacine, this could be nasty. That's only one, though. I thought he could have maybe a follow-up on that. The timing looked just about right, but Leo has to respect that now. Utility going to force him away from that peak on long, and the 1-for-1 trade-out traditionally still favors the attacking side because they get the advantage towards any of the sides, let alone this map that's got 3 of them. But Draken's going to take space back. The perfect reply to this as well. Say, well, they ain't come and see, at least to the extent that I can deal with, but maybe keep an eye on Garage because I can't check that, which is what you're seeing Sayf do. Lean over towards it, keep a little track of it. That does at least allow you to have some of your pieces in place, and it looks like B might be where Liquid are eyeing up, as you're seeing Jamppi show a bit of intent. One flash locked in for Sayf. Pops it, gets a little confirmation, but look how... What? He beats Jamppi in that fight. He had no right to it. Nivera has to put his body on the line. Leo, quick trade back, though. Sight is still not clear necessarily for Liquid. You can see it. Link, he's had to hesitate for a second here. And he's noted Leo. They both know of each other's presence, and soulcas tries to spam away. Nothing there. And the flank coming around. soulcas gets caught in the heels by draken. And a 2v1.
15 HP.
He's got so little to play with.
30 seconds left.
Goes for the quickest plant he can. Tries to give himself as much time in the post plant as possible. 8 bullets in the mag. bonkar biding his time, maybe predicting that CT push. It wasn't to be. Link actually going to fade away towards Garage, playing over by default. Swings it, can't get it, Draken. Just that bit quicker, and Guild are about to get to 12 Hypoc. I mean, I'm taken aback by this. We theory crafted that. I predicted, what, a 3-1 roughly to Liquid overall, but Guild could have this map in the bag. I didn't expect a potentially 13-3 though.
No, definitely not. And again, we do start to cast our minds a little further into the veto. Again, Ascent is the next tick in the box. But for me, Guild need to make this as absolutely difficult for Liquid in the first 2 maps at least.
Yeah.
And again, the big tick in the box for me straight away is Guild winning Haven, winning it comfortably as well. Make Liquid really question themselves on arguably a comfier map for them in Ascent in map 2.
Yep.
But Jamppi got an operator online, a Spectre in the hands of Link.
Camera taken out.
A Sheriff for Scream, rifles elsewhere. Can they continue? Can they get another round on the board here? Actually going to bait out Draken, will note the operator. Cosmic Divide invested as well. Actually, the Trailblazer will find Draken, so he's in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, he needs someone to bail him out, or he just does it himself,
No
apparently.
way.
Draken takes his life into his own hands. At least going to find one for that. After all that pressure, I thought he was done for. But the reply from Liquid is good. They've at least stemmed all the issues that are starting to grow towards that C side. They should be able to get a spike plant off this.
No charges.
Bonkar, Yacine, and Leo having to respect this for now. Utility's still in place. They can't really play ahead of these smokes. Boombot going to be probably committed in a second's time. And away we
Sorry, what?
go. Bonkar just got Scream. What? And now the fault they're so unaware. Nivera so quick to turn though. And Link's still solid as ever on towards the site. Leaving Leo, your last man alive in a 1v2. Deep hold on towards long is going to be such a problem to get past. Lovely dink on the first though. And he knows where the follow-up's going to be. He has to do this himself. The shoulder peek, the jump peek off the back. Jamppi is now sweating bullets. But time is starting to really tick against Leo here. He can't even get it halfway. He needs Jamppi to peek, and Jamppi is giving him no quarter. And yes, the frag comes in, but the time is all favorable towards Liquid. But the cost of this, Hypoc.
I was going to say, actually, the important thing in that scenario for Leo is he removes the operator, right? It's no real attempt to find the defusal. So again, damage done and costly round victory for Liquid there. And Leo's done so well to find this first one. Again, even here, just the jumpy so he can deal with the turret first when Jamppi's forced
Really
obviously
nice.
Reload that operator. Actually, and just thinking about the previous purchase, I'm questioning really if Liquid can get together what they want here.
What's it looking like?
Guardian, Spectre, light armor, and again, you browse down the utility. Actually, not as bad as I thought when you look at it. And a couple of players really close to their ultimates as well. Scream being one of them. Nivera just got his Hunter's Fury online from retrieving that orb at C. Draken will be called upon once again.
Gonna just try and fade away towards Garage, give himself a little bit of safety. As he does so, there it is though, lovely from Scream, good start. Firm footing towards the site, and the danger man being Leo with the rifle, not really in the right place to bring it to bear. So again, this should be a spike plant and a post plant. soulcas putting himself Or further forward. Life is cruel sometimes. Still has his flashes to play with. Sayf does as well, though. They could set something up on this. No's presence in garage is there. Gonna relay that towards Jamppi. Yacine does find Nivera, but again, not quick enough success here for Guild. But if they can punish a little more, keep doing a bit of damage, would be nice. But looks like they're starting to lean towards the site now. This is about the real last shot at it. The time completely dwindles. Jamppi, again, locking them in, not giving them any freedom. Leo does have to give away the game that rifle is still in play, and Scream removes it. Liquid now, stringing together some rounds.
Indeed, stringing together some ultimates as well. Lockdown available, Bladestorm once again. Available for Scream. I think actually, yeah, even the 2 kills isn't going to equate to much now that some of these ultimates are online. Actually, you've seen on the other side of things, Showstopper online. Leo with his own Hunter's Fury, Sayf, 1 away from the Seekers. Neural Theft. Bonkar does there as TP in 1 more. So again, a couple of things really to sway this back in Guild's favor if they can find a first blood this time around. Again, Liquid here lean away from C. Draken, some breathing space. If Jamppi again going to look for a pick with his Guardian. Or maybe he can just get into a position where he can put the lockdown. Maybe even just to bait out the Hunter's Fury, force it out of Leo. As Guild will actually back away from A site and towards A link. Spike not really committed anywhere just yet, and actually other than Jamppi and soulcas, no real progress made.
Shadows traveling. Get out of my way.
No. Not much progress at all, really. It's quite patient, about to the minute marker, and you're right, yes, they're showing... it looks like just a kind of run-of-the-mill fake here, a little bit of presence shown towards A, and actually more than run-of-the-mill now with the investment of the lockdown, while they're going for a C lean. Keep in mind, they are looking towards that C site, so that's where the spike is, going to force a little bit of that utility to be invested. And some of those ults to be invested towards A. They've pulled 4 players here. This is a very good fake, if anything. And now this is where problems begin. So the C site is now taken. That's going to have players all over it. Jamppi just going to be kind of taking his time towards mid, see if he can catch one of those players working back in. I was kind of surprised it took so long to get that spike up, but I guess they don't know what we know, that they did pull every rotation, but now the spike plant does get denied by a little bit of that presence from the ult coming down. soulcas ready to do some work, but bonkar outdoes him on the jump out of the window. Ain't no way! And now 3v3, Spike is down, Liquid still holding on barely with draken doing that. Finding Link is huge, and the follow-up towards Jamppi. Nivera, he's got his ult, but now there is the information relayed. He knows he's in danger here.
There's 3 to deal with. He can maybe find one of these as long as they don't take a double tag. It's not going to matter an awful lot at all. Draken can just stick this through now. And Sayf will fall. The defuse comes through. Guild 13-5 Liquid.